So imagine if you're in the ICU, intensive care unit, and you've got families around the child, and there's noise going on everywhere. The most important piece of data that exists there is that bedside monitoring data that shows the heart rate, the vital sign, the oxygen levels. That's a life-saving data that sits there. It's on the screen for 6 seconds. It goes to our electronic medical record for 3 days and then thrown away. The most vital life-saving data that exists for that child is thrown away after 3 days. So I went to Todd and I said, Todd, can you save this data? Can we use this data for something grander than just what it's doing today? And Todd said, sure, I can do that, Mike. And that's what started the project.
The most challenging part of the project was that none of the software or hardware that we implemented to solve this issue was in place at Children's at all. So it had a fairly steep learning curve, and to get all of that hardware and software in, understood, learned, and focused on the problem was by far the largest challenge we had. The impact on our business and the customers has really been profound. The clinicians are now able to visualize data that they've never seen before. And this data isn't just numbers. It tells a story of how the babies are doing in the bed. This data was previously unavailable. They would read a chart and see the words, baby tolerated procedure well, but they never had any data to understand what that statement meant. And now with this new tool and the applications built on top of it, they're able to visualize the waveforms for all of the vitals that are monitored for that child for any amount of time, and they can truly understand what's happening to the child physiologically. The best response that we got out of the application was when nurses who asked for the application first came to sit down with the application designer and myself, and we looked up a patient whose name she gave us that she knew had had this procedure we were looking for, and when the vital sign data was displayed on the screen for the first time, she literally gasped. And she had never been able to see that data before, and she immediately pointed to the heart rate waveform, which was off of baseline for more than 25 minutes, and she had never seen that that's how long the baby's vitals were off baseline, and so she immediately understood the need to provide additional comfort to that child for much longer than they had known before.
Return on investment to us is getting that child home faster. Return on investment to us is making sure people get healthier faster. So if we can reduce the pain levels, understand what's going on with vital signs in children, we can get them out of the intensive care unit faster, we can get them home faster, and that's the best return on investment I can think of. We are using technology that is used by banks, marketing companies, manufacturing companies, oil exploration companies, for the purpose of improving revenue, gaining market share. But instead, what we're using the same technology called business intelligence technology, we're using it to see if we can save lives of children. My favorite part of this project is we're using the same technology that's used for all these other purposes, but to help save the lives of children. Like I said, this is the most important data that exists around a child sitting there in an intensive care unit. We can use that data to not only look at pain levels, which we're doing now, we can predict the likelihood of a heart attack event, we can predict the likelihood of an infection, we can go back and look at our procedures and see if we can't change procedures for children that exist in the ICU. The data that we're collecting now is boundless in our possibilities. Where we go next is really up to our imaginations.